What's up, guys? That Really Gross Guy here. We're back, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about the new game mode called Disruption. And for the most part, I'll be completely honest, I really do like this new game mode. I feel like there's a lot of positives about it, and I don't really have too much negative to say about it. There is one little nitpick that I kind of have, which is I think would just make it that much better of a game mode. And I think it's mostly because there's something that's a little misleading that comes with the game mode. But for the most part, I truly do enjoy it. I really like the fact that, you know, it kind of kicks up the difficulty a little bit. But at the same time, it allows you to go through, you know, endless waves, take down some of these mobile defense-like defenses, I guess you would say, you know, in whatever order you see fit, which is kind of sort of not true, but anyways, we'll talk about that. But the Disruption game mode, if you haven't seen, is a game mode where you can basically jump in to a mission, fight a bunch of corpus as well as some amalgams, which are some corpus slash sentient, you know, hybrid type units, which are pretty interesting. They're pretty cool, actually. But anyways, then you will go throughout the level. You will find these 4 different defenses, kind of. They're like sculptures, sort of, kind of, something like that. They're defense points. What you're going to have to do is take down some of the amalgams on the level, and you're going to find keys that are dropped by some of these enemies. You're going to take those keys to the, you know, the matching defense point, and you're going to start that defense point. When you do that, you are either going to receive a buff or a nerf, or a debuff, we'll just say, for the length of that mobile or that defense, whatever. If you are successful and it was a buff, you will actually keep that buff until the end of the wave. If you are unsuccessful and it is a debuff, you will actually keep that debuff until the end of the wave. So that's kind of something you want to, you know, keep you know, keep an eye on. There's some good things in there. There's like extra credit drops. There's extra resource drops. There's I think double fit. I don't know. There's some decent things in there. There's like increased fire rate. I think there's like extra or like energy restore or something like that. And then there's also like, you know, the debuffs are like health drain or shield drain or energy drain. Some of them are like nullifier bubble around the defense point. There's one that's electricity around the defense point that'll electrocute you. Some will be like Eximus units will come in and fight you, or enemies will use poison or frost damage, whatever. And like I said, if it's a buff and you are successful, you'll keep that buff for the end of the wave. If it's a debuff, you know, such as the health drain, you'll actually, and you lose, you'll actually keep that health drain until the end of that wave. But similar to like, you know, regular defenses or whatever, there are waves. So once you complete all 4 of those sculptures, whether you're successful or unsuccessful, a new wave will start. I believe you have to at least beat one of those defenses, otherwise it's a mission failure. But anyways, it's unique. It's different. I like it. Personally, I went in there to the recent Hostile Mergers, which is the event that is going on. A while back in Warframe's history, new game modes were actually added, and events actually took place for leaderboards and bragging rights, and, you know, being able to get some exclusive weapons at the time. Were actually tied to these, so they're bringing that back a little bit, which I really like. I like these events. But of course, I'd like to get my hands on those weapons in the future, you know, in case, you know, because there's the Spectra Vandal, the Glaxion Vandal, and I think there's, I don't know, I think it's just another Sigil or something. Anyways, so those are your, you know, your rewards. But anyways, I like it. I don't want to say it's very difficult, because it's not really difficult. Because if you take in the right frame, you know, with pretty much any game mode, you can do this, you know, pretty good. You can be pretty good at this, and you know, get through it. I've been playing it solo just because I like that extra added challenge. But when it comes to the negative thing I have to say, so what's going to happen is every time you defend one of these points, there's going to spawn a demo list. And a demo list is basically a suicide bomber that attacks a defense point. When it blows itself up, it will one-shot the defense point no matter what, which is an instant fail on that defense, which sucks, so you really have to keep an eye out for those guys. The nitpick that I have is these enemies, I have two kind of potential ways I would like this to be changed. So these demolists, you can't see them on the map, like they run around, whatever, but on the map they show like the objective icon of wherever they are, only when you have lines of sight to them, only when you can actually see them. You know, you're close enough, whatever. And what's frustrating is, for whatever reason, I know these demolists are significantly harder to kill than the other enemies on the map, which I don't want to say I don't like that. I kind of do like that. The problem is there are a couple instances where I couldn't see the demolist all the way up until it got right up on top of the defense point and it destroyed it. And the problem I have is when I'm running my Necros, you've probably seen them in the background, I have the comb, and that comb is actually a weapon I take into sorties. I also have, in my Kuva survival 60-minute run, whatever, that you guys may have seen on the channel, you know, where I didn't get any life support. I ran my Necros with that, and that gun actually can kill enemies, you know, 80 to 100 before it kind of falls off and I start worrying about how much damage it's doing. I was in a level 20 to, I think I was trying to kill like level 20, 25 enemies, demolists. It kills everything on the map totally fine, except it's awful against the demolists. Same thing with my Tigress Prime. Now, I was running this with Mesa, and hear me out. My Tigress Prime can basically, when I pull the trigger and use both barrels, my Tigress Prime pretty much kills everything in the game, with except for you know, bosses and, you know, soccer, whatever, in that single burst shot. At one point in this game, or in this match, actually at a couple points, I actually shot both barrels into one of the demolists, and it did not kill it. Now this is a level like 25, 30 enemy, and it is not being killed by my Tigress Prime when I can one-shot level hundreds with it, or, you know, or pretty much, like I said, pretty much everything in the game. And for whatever reason, these demolists are just that much more difficult to kill. And like I said, I'm not necessarily opposed to how strong they are. What I dislike is, if they're going to be that strong, I would like to know where they are on the map as soon as they spawn, so I have the opportunity to kind of seek them out. Otherwise, you have to sit on the defense point, especially if you're playing solo. It's, you know, it's kind of a struggle. You can't really go seek it out, because if you miss it, defense point is destroyed, you know, in seconds. So this thing, I think, needs to be on the map as soon as it spawns, so you actually have a decent chance of destroying this thing. Now, of course, if you play in public and you have insane weapons, whatever, or you know, you have the best Tigress Prime with ribbons or whatever, you have insane weapons with ribbons or whatever, maybe this isn't a problem. But what I'm getting to is, this mission claims it is a level 20, 25, 30 level mission. But it's almost impossible for a newer player that is familiar with the current 25 level, you know, 30 level content to destroy these demolists. The other thing I was thinking was maybe if they made the Demolist weaker, but maybe had like 3 of them spawn back to back for each one of these defenses, maybe that would work. So for instance, you set your key in the thing, you start the defense, you know, about 10, 15, 20 seconds in, a Demolist spawns. It's not that strong, but it spawns and it, you know, tries to get to that defense point. You destroy that one, another one comes. You destroy that one, another one comes, and when you finish that 3rd one or whatever, then you're successful with that defense. That's another option. Like I said, I'm fine with the difficulty of the Demolist. I actually would like to play this game mode, you know, on you know, higher level tier difficulties, whatever. I just wish it wasn't so. The Demolists weren't so difficult to spot and destroy. As I say veteran, but as a player that's been around for 6 years, I have the gear I need to destroy these Demolists. However, I'm afraid that a lot of people, like I said, who have beaten the star chart, you know, they can go into the void and they do a decent job with their no forma builds, you know, like a brand new player that's got a level 30, you know, whatever, frame with a good level 30 weapon, with a whatever, and decent builds. They'll jump into this mission going, oh yeah, I've done level 30 content, and they'll actually try to defend this point, and these Demolists will just not die, and they'll be like, what the heck? I could have sworn this was content that you know, I could do. But anyways, that's just me being a little bit nitpicky. Other than that, I think this is an awesome game mode. I would love to see some, you know, maybe a little better rewards and stuff like that. I'd like to see some more stuff tied into this, but for the most part, it's good. I enjoy it. The only thing that's going to stop me from playing it like a lot is I'm just going to run out of rewards and reasons to just keep coming back and playing endlessly. But if they can keep it, you know, rewards through there and keep it fresh and interesting, and maybe add this type of game mode to other tile sets and other factions, then awesome. I would love it. I'd be so happy. But I think that's it. I think that's really all I have to say. It's cool. It's fun. Slight nitpicks. Are you guys having any issues with the Demolists? Have you guys, you know, I heard someone that was saying they were struggling getting through the 3rd tier of the event, and a couple people that were struggling in the endurance mode of the event, and it's mostly because they couldn't kill those Demolists. I don't know. Any thoughts? Any recommendations? Especially for newer players. I know there's, you know, if you have a really good Tigress, or you have, I don't know, the awesome kit guns, you probably are not too worried about this. But if you're running, you know, decent weapons that you got maybe early game, your mastery rank 8 to 12, you've got like a Soma and a couple of the other basic weapons. Are you struggling with these Demolists? I just like to know. I'd like to update this video, you know, in the future, especially when the changes to disruption come. And if they add more disruption tiles, I'll let you know. I'm gonna go run the the new Eidolon. I'm gonna run that here probably tomorrow. I have to go to work in the morning, so probably gonna call it a night, but probably going to do that tomorrow and make a video on my thoughts on the Eidolon. But yeah, those are just my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something. And I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. I will see you guys again in the next episode. Blow!